Welcome to Learning Reaper. I'm your host, X.E.L.O. And today we're going to be making a boom bap hip hop beat from scratch, completely from scratch, flipping the sample and making a beat. Let's go. All right, so here we are in Reaper, and this theme is called Peace. So let's kind of get started. And I'll probably be using my own drum kit. If you haven't already, I have a link below in the description where you can download my drum kit for the Smash kit for free. So we're going to start with this Nior felt piano. It's a little bit softer than like the regular piano. And let's do a snap. We're going to do it on F sharp natural minor. So we can start on F. What I usually like to do is start with the bass notes so I can kind of get a rhythm or a feel of how I want the track to go. So I'll just try to find another note to go with this one. Let's make some chords now. So what I'll do is I'm gonna hold down Control and you'll see the little plus sign there. I'm gonna skip every other note. Now just holding down Control and clicking on it to drag it up to that next note. All right. And it's also snapping to those notes, so I don't have to worry about it being out of key. We're going to duplicate these over, right? And then we can actually change up this last piece here. We'll probably change it to something different. Let's actually click on these last two down here, and I'm going to hit Alt and then hit the number 8 on my number pad and bring that up an octave. I'm going to change this last one here. Let's bring this in, hold down Control to grab all the notes. All right, so basically I just move this top note up to an E, and this is how the ending kind of goes. All right, so something pretty simple, and I'm going to highlight all of them, right-clicking over all of them. I'm going to go up here to my randomizer, so I'm going to randomize the volumes. So I want to drop down some bass notes, so I'm going to hold down Control and click on all of my bass notes, and I'm going to hold down Control and drag it down. So now I have some bass notes. I'm gonna bring it down one more octave just. So something fairly simple. Let's see if we can find like a string inside of Contact. All right, and I have some spiccato strings in here. Gonna see what we can come up with. And what I can do is actually see those tracks, so I can kind of see where things are actually placed. And just to make this easy, I'm just going to kind of drag it out, and I can always change it or cut the notes. So that'll make it a lot easier for me. So I can just highlight all of these and then go right up here to my split notes. So I can split notes to the grid, and right now it's on 1/8 grid, so it should make them all the same length. All right, and I think I want to bring it up 1 octave. Actually, let's duplicate those. I'm gonna grab these and bring them down. Right click over all of these, change the velocities of them. Let's give them some randomness. All right. So like after every third, I'll just raise that one up. All right. Let's do this one. All right. So something really simple kind of added in here. I just changed every third one and brought it up. All right. And I haven't really gotten a chance to mess with this play box too much, so I'll mess with it on this one. And I know we're in the key of F sharp, right? All right. And I'm going to kind of randomize this stuff. There we go. All right. Let's run with that one. So I just made it really simple for the play box. I just wanted to add a little layer underneath it, and this is what it sounds like. Something really simple, something to kind of get a nice little layer underneath there as well. And I think we can run with these as a sample for right now. All right, so what I want to do is actually bounce these all into like one wave file or a sample. So in order to do that in Reaper, you will just go over to File, go to Render, and then you can do Add Render Item to New Track in Project. So what this will do is bounce down all these 3 samples into one. All right, so I'm gonna just name the file like, let's say X.E.L. Hip hop sample, let's say 1, right? So it'll make this, let's render it. All right, we hit close. And now we have the sample here. Even the bleeding of the other sounds is listed on here, but I'm just gonna kind of cut those off. So now we have the sample. So I'm just going to mute these other ones, and I'm going to kind of minimize them as well. So we'll still have the MIDI available, but those be kind of out of the way. I'm just going to put them into a folder, so that way I can completely minimize them. right? Just shrink that. So now they're all in that folder with all the MIDI. So I still have my MIDI, and now I have the WAV file, which I can manipulate in several different ways. If I wanted to actually do like a reverse on here, you just go to your actions and do a reverse. I have mine set to page down on my keyboard, so it'll reverse it that way. Right, so you can do like a reverse on here. You also have the option to like pitch shift if I wanted to like shift just this audio file. So let's say I wanted to do like, let me zoom in some so you guys can see. So let's say I wanted for this audio file to be pitched up. So I can hold shift and do 0, and that will bring it up 1 semitone, right? So I'm gonna bring it up 3 semitones. As you can see here, it will tell me I'm pitching it up 3. If I go back to the beginning now, right? So if I wanted to bring it down, I would hold down shift and hit the number 9, and that'll bring it back to 0. And then you can go -1, -2, and -3. So now it's down 3 semitones, right? Right, so really easy to kind of manipulate the sample pitch this way. If you want to do it this way, you can also add an effect on here. So I'm gonna go to my effects, and I'm gonna go to Ria pitch, right? And this will allow me to actually pitch the sample. So I know you probably see people in other DAWs that use this, the Waves one to actually do it. You can do this in Reaper really easy with this Ria pitch. So if I wanted to do a shift up semitones, I can do the same thing here. Like I did the 3 up. Right? Yeah, but this gives me an option to even just do like a formant shift. So I don't have to actually do shifting of the whole entire sound. Is kind of going to stay in that same key, but still be formant shifted. I hope that makes sense. Right, so this gives you an option to change the format as well. And you can have this as like a layering system if you want it to be. So you can kind of like layer the sound with your wet and your dry options over here on the side. And you can always add more. So you could add another shifter. So if I hit add shifter, now you see there's a 2 here. So I can add a completely different shifter for the same exact sample. So this is how you can get like a nice little chorus effect if you're dealing with vocals, or if you want like some added sounds to your sample, you could do this as well by doing it by a shift or a whole octave, whichever one you want to do. So yeah, so a really, really cool tool. Not many people actually use it, but it is definitely effective and is pretty good for doing a shift for your sample. So I don't know if I want to shift this sample up or down, right? So if I didn't want to do the pitch shift, I'm gonna hit Alt and click on it to remove that. So let's say we wanted to do like a halftime. We can do halftime to the track as well. All right. So let's say we wanted to have this sample so we can make it stretch. So I can right click on it. I'm going to go to item properties, and it's going to bring up this dialog box. So this will give me an option to change how it actually moves with the project. So I can go to beat, auto, stretch, and tempo changes. So anytime I change the tempo, I have to hit apply. If I change the tempo on here, or if I slow it down, speed it up, it'll actually go with the tempo of the track itself. So you won't ever lose the tempo, basically. All right. So let's see if we let's slow it down. Let's say we want to do like a boom bappage. Let's do 90, right? And let's take off the halftime. Oh. All right, so um, I want to chop this sample up. So what I'm going to do is go down to my script, my MK slicer. If you don't know what the MK slicer is, I have a video showing you how I actually use MK slicer to chop up samples. I'm going to do it by grid, right? And we're going to change this to a half grid. I think that'll make the most sense here. So I can kind of just chop them up how I want to. So I'm going to change this from pitch detect. I'm going to go to sampler. So what this is going to do is create a whole bunch of different samplers for the Resampler-Matic 5000. So I can actually play the sounds on a keyboard, or I can just go into the MIDI roll and actually add sounds in there to make a sample, right? So I'm gonna hit on MIDI, and as you see, it cut up and made its own little piano roll. So I'm gonna bring that up. All right, so these are the slices that it actually did for the sample. All right, so now we kind of have the sample, at least in the DAW, or what we want to kind of use. I'm going to lay down some drums just so I can get a rhythm going and then kind of add the sample into the drums. I'll probably use the typing keyboard to actually add the samples in there so that so that way I can show you that you don't have to have like a keyboard or drum pad in order to actually do any of this stuff. You just need the DAW and your computer. All right, let's see if we can find some drums. So basically what I'm doing is just doing a Control D to duplicate the tracks over. It makes it a lot easier to kind of add tracks on there. All right, and so what I can do is I have like my little volume options here. So I'm gonna kind of turn down some of these. Uh, and that way I can get like a nice little kind of bounce to them. So I'm gonna delete these, move some of them off grid slightly. So like this third one here, I'm gonna hold down shift. I'm gonna kind of just move this one over slightly. Let's zoom in. So I'm gonna hold down Alt and kind of zoom in so I can kind of see what I'm doing. Hold down Shift, kind of drag this one over slightly. The last one. So basically this will give it a nice little groove so that we can have some fun with the hi-hats. So this is what it sounds like right now. Duplicate these over. And let's say you have this actually zoomed in like this. If you hold down Control and hit the down, page down button, it should bring your track in so that you can kind of see the whole thing. So let's see if we can find a snare. And all the drums I'm using are from the Smash Kit, so you can definitely get those down below in the description. You can download the Smash Kit for free. All right, and what I'm doing is actually copying these over. I do have a video showing you how to actually set this up so you can just hold down Control and click where you want to have like your next sound to kind of be. So definitely check that out. The link should be below in the description for that as well. I'm gonna try to turn on the velocity for this last snare hit there, just so it'll give it, like I said, a little bit more bounce. And then we can kind of just copy these over. So I'm gonna hold all these down. So now what I can do is hold down Control and then it'll paste all of those where I want them to be pasted. Makes it a lot easier for me to kind of move things around. And yeah, all right. And what I also want to do, I'm gonna bring this down to a 4-bar loop just to make it a little bit easier for me. I can kind of remove these out of here. And let's see if we can find a kick. And I can make this into like a ghost kick. So I'm gonna kind of lower this one down. All right, and I'm just gonna kind of highlight these, hold down Control, click to add those in, Control, click to add those in, and add those in there. Then I hold down Control, click on the down page so I can see the loop. All right, something really simple, kind of just to set off the vibe of the track that we want. So now I want to go into this sample section and kind of add some samples. So what I'll do is I'll go to View, and I'm going to go to this virtual MIDI keyboard. And this is the keyboard that it brings up so that I'll be able to kind of play on my typing keyboard. All right, so I was able to kind of lay down some chops in here. So this is what it sounds like right now. All right, and if you don't know, now you know, I will be using the Modo bass. I'm gonna run with this studio bass right now. Let's see how that goes. Let's add. All right, seeing that I didn't change the key yet, I can still use this F sharp natural minor and kind of find out where I want things to be. All right, so I was able to lay down some bass in here. So this is what it actually sounds like right now. All right, so we have the sample in there, we have some bass, and we've added some drums in here. Like I said, you could definitely download that drum kit. It should be below in the link in the description below. If you actually want to get the piano roll that I'm using as well, I do have a configuration file on my website. It's like $8 if you want to actually do that to support the channel, and you'll be able to actually use the piano roll or the MIDI editor like I use it in these videos. So once again, I thank you guys for watching this one. I'm going to actually mix down the track itself. If you guys need any mixing or mastering services, I do have them at my website, which is xelohh.com. So I'm going to mix this down, let you guys hear the final result. All right, so I was able to mix down the track. I did use the flux on the track, and I did use some movement by output on the sample itself to give it some kind of feel to it, so it's just not so stale. It did help it out a lot. It gave it a different reflection and sound. I added a riser, I added a reverse crash, and I added a regular crash on there as well to the track. A couple of dropouts. I'm going to play the track through so you guys can hear exactly what we did here. All right, and that was the beat. Hope you guys really enjoyed me making this beat and showing you all the steps that I took to make this completely from scratch. If you do have like any questions or comments, please leave them below in the comment section. I'll get back to you as soon as I get to see those on there. If you haven't already, please make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel. This is still a brand new channel. We're still trying to reach more people. The more likes, the more spread, the more follows, the more the channel grows. All right, so with that being said, that's the end of this video. And once again, I want to thank you guys for watching Learning Reaper. Until next time, peace. Hey you, yes you, YouTube wants you to watch this video next, man. Go ahead and click it. I'll wait. Nah, I'm just playing. I'm not gonna keep waiting here. All right, I will see you in the next video though. Peace.